Hello everybody and welcome back to Hermitcraft Season 11. Today is episode 3 and you might be wondering how in the world did I get a copper golem on my head? Well, good news, it's not magic. It's actually a data pack that we have on Hermitcraft Season 11 and this basically allows us to put any model on our head that we so choose, even vanilla items, just by renaming them in an anvil to their Minecraft name, and then we click apply model right here. And then it applies the model, and that allows us to basically wear anything. So we have a diamond helmet that's been had the copper golem model applied, and it's now our diamond helmet now looks like a copper golem. So that's kind of cool. You can do this with other items too. For instance, this pickaxe here. I've also applied a model to this pickaxe, so I can now wear the pickaxe on my head, and a sword. I can wear a sword on my head. Whatever I want to wear on my head, I can wear on my head. So just wanted to make you guys aware of that in case you're wondering how the heck do we still have full armor with a copper golem on our head. That's how. We've been working a little bit here at the base area. We've now got a little bit of cocoa bean action going on over here. We got some rabbits. Got a little rabbit pen over here, because I thought it would be a good idea to breed rabbits for some reason. But those guys are in there. And then we got, let's see if we got any eggs. Yeah, let's go. We got some eggs here. Or some chickens in here in case we want to make some cakes or get a chicken farm going. No chickens from 9 eggs? That's unlucky. That's too bad. But yeah, we got a little egg farm right here as well. Now, the problem I'm encountering at this point, ladies and gentlemen, is this. We have too much stuff. So you can see the copper golems have basically worked themselves to exhaustion here. We now got a whole bunch of copper golem statues. We can change states. They're kind of adorable, honestly. I really love these guys. We got some guys in the background here. There's a few back here as well. But these guys all oxidized after they had sorted everything in the chest. And yeah, now the chests are basically getting to the point where they're pretty much overflowing. Like, we need to address all the chest stuff, and there's still stuff that we don't have a spot for in these chests. So I think this episode, it's time to get serious about our storage. So if we're getting serious about storage, we need to do 3 things, in my opinion. Number 1, obviously, is expand the storage. We need more than just 8 double chests of stuff, because that clearly is nowhere near enough for what we have even now. And so we're going to have to greatly increase the number of chests we have in our storage. Thing number 2 we'll have to do is we'll have to make sure that any copper golems, if we do use copper golems for our storage, we need to make sure they don't oxidize like this, which means establishing a bee farm which can harvest honey so we can wax the copper golems so they don't oxidize into statues like they have been doing. And number 3, we need to get some more shulker boxes, some more of these things, because that'll allow us to move all the stuff out of here into a new storage quicker and also accumulate other things throughout the world, gather things faster, and yeah, also have additional storage capacity with just the boxes themselves. So that means we need to go to the end, which I think we're going to do first today. So let's grab some stuff. I'm going to grab some blocks so we can potentially bridge out in the end. I'm going to grab some dirt blocks, and I'm also going to get a shield. That could be quite useful. Having a shield in the end to defend against shulkers. There we go. Beautiful. Let's see, what else? We got plenty of food. We're good on that. It might be useful if I have gunpowder. Yeah, we can take some gunpowder for some rockets, which we can make with some paper here. Oh, we've already made some paper. Very good. We'll just go ahead and pre-make some rockets. Bada boom. There we go. In case we get the Elytra wings, that would be nice. Put that away there. Okay, so shield blocks. We got a I see ya, wouldn't want to be a telescope, so we can like zoom in on anything. Let's see, what else? What else? I think that's mostly it. Oh, one thing I did want to do. We have, hold on. We have a dried ghast, and we could make a harness here with some leather, some wool, which I know we have wool in here. Yep, wool. And some glass, I believe. Yeah, we can make a white harness. So we can actually get a Happy Ghast, so we could fly through the end to actually try and get like an end ship and, you know, get up and down super easily. That might work. I do want to grab maybe some snow, get some snowballs for that if we do that. Let's quickly grab the donkey, get some snowballs over here. Let's quickly run across the bridge. There we go. That's not snowballs, but we can get some from this. So we're just going to take out a few of these things. Bada boom, that should be enough. All right. Okay, so we got 2 stacks of snowballs, which should be more than enough. I'm also going to take a bunch of ender pearls because we might need some of these to save us if we fall. And with that, I think we're ready to go to the Nether. So normally I would take this donkey and go to the shopping district portal, but luckily we got our own portal now on this high plateau. So we're just going to take the donkey right over here, and we're going to dump him off over here like this. So we'll just hook him up here. There we go. And we got our own portal here in the center of the island, which is fantastic. So now if we go through here, check this out. We got ourselves a Nether portal, which is hooked up to what eventually will be the hub, which I believe is planned to go here. I believe Gemini Tay is making the hub this season, but yeah, it's already got sort of like a nice configuration here with the thing sort of dug out. And if we go this way from our portal down the deep dark part of the tunnel, apparently we need some light in here, I think. But if we turn this way and turn back this way, and then we teleport down this way a few times, 1, 2, 3, we eventually arrive at what I believe is the end portal right here. So we've kind of upgraded our Nether transportation network. Very good. Gonna quickly, whoops, not do that. I'm gonna put our respawn bed right there. So in case we die, we'll respawn here. Ready to go back in. And I think we're good to go for this Nether adventure. Yeah, let's see how we go. Let's see how we go. So I'm not sure how many of the gateways have been visited so far. Looks like at least 1, 2. Of course, we got the end flashes as well. It looks like 2 gateways so far have been opened. And that's it. Yes. 2 gateways have been opened so far. Okay, so I'm gonna go through, let's just say this one. The far one. Because that has a staircase. So let's go through there and see what happens exactly. And I looked at it. Okay. I looked at a bunch of Endermen. Yep, this is already going well, guys. Very well. Beautifully. I'm out. Wow. Okay. Jeez. Well, that was a fun trip to the end. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, they're still after me. They are still after me, guys. Okay. We gotta leave. We gotta leave. They're still after me. I thought they would despawn if I left the dimension, but apparently not. Alright. Alright. Everything is totally, completely fine. We're off to the outer end. Hopefully a little bit less tumultuous and less dangerous. We hope. Okay, so we're going to pearl through with an ender pearl. Just like that. There we go. Remote gateway. Let's go. Alright. And let's just, I guess, start walking. Or maybe we should just make the Happy Ghast here. And just wait till the Happy Ghast grows up and then come back. That might be a plan for us. Let's do that. We'll put the dried ghast into the water here. There we are. And now we wait 20 minutes for this guy to grow up. And then we'll have to wait another 20 minutes for this guy to grow into a actual Happy Ghast. He's almost there. He's almost there. Hey, there he is. Let's go. Gonna feed him a couple of snowballs here. Gonna pick up our water. And hopefully we can get him to grow up pretty quickly. Alright everybody, we are now off to explore the end dimension in style. And immediately we hit a end city, which is probably already rated, because there is a bridge going right to it. Alright, that's fine. So I'm wondering maybe if I should go another way. Maybe I should go like that way. Where there's not a bridge. That might be smart. Yeah, and there's a bridge going that way. Okay, so we're going to go this way. We're going to go left instead of right, as others did. Alright, it may take a while, because we're pretty slow up here, but I don't think we have to worry about Enderman. I don't think they can, like, teleport to the Happy Ghast itself, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. I think we're good. We just gotta take it slow and steady over the void. Because I've been through the end on a gas with no name. It was good to get out of the rain. In the end, you won't remember your name, 'cause there's only so many things that you can complain about. One of those things, though, is the end cities are weird, and it can't be helped because it's just a add-on that they just sort of tacked on after the end was added. Way back in when the game was made. Well, we went to the left side, and apparently there's another bridge that people have used to get out here. Which probably means this is going to be a end city that is definitely rated. But could there be... Ooh, there's at least one shulker still left. Let's go. Alright, we will stop here in the hopes of getting a shulker shell. I don't have looting on my sword, though. So it might be rough. I'm going to check the end ship first. And we're just going to see if we can get anything from it. Oh, there is a shulker still here, though, too. So maybe? I don't know. Okay. Well, we'll see. Just going to go on down here. Get close. And we made it. Let's go. Gonna take this brewing stand. Thank you so much. Anything here? Nope, but they left the item frame. Beetroot seeds and nothing else. This is a free chest, by the way. 2 free chests, actually. We'll throw out the beetroot seeds because we already got plenty of those, but mistake leaving that. And okay, I guess we're just gonna come out here and we're just gonna... There we go. 2 shulker shells. Let's go. Alright, there's one more somewhere. Maybe over here? Oh, okay. Well, now we're in a crisis. Yep, now we're in a crisis. Where's this guy at? I might be able to get to the ghast. No, that's not worth it. Okay. Can we have him come to me? Thank you. There we go. Nice. Okay, we got to make sure this ghast does not die, though. He does regen 1 heart every 30 seconds. So this guy's got to be, like, underneath. Oh, I looked at that Enderman. Yep, there he is. And I missed. There we go. Okay, got him. Okay, I do want to go down here, but I'm worried that the Enderman might be able to hit me. I don't know if the Enderman will actually attack the Happy Ghast. I'm going to get off and see. Can he teleport up here? I don't think he can. I think the ghast should be too big that he can't hurt us, but let's just see. Okay, so he can't hit us, but we can hit him. Happy Ghast is a tank. Happy Ghast is an actual tank. This is awesome. Kind of awesome to have this, like, tank of a ghast here. It also helps you pick up stuff a little easier. But we already got 8 shulker shells. I forgot we actually have double drop on Hermitcraft, so each shulker drops 2 shells. Which honestly should be the vanilla behavior, in my opinion. Like, they make shulker shells, like, way too uncommon. In vanilla, you can get, like, 0 shulker shells. Sometimes when you kill the shulkers, it just makes no sense. Because you can clearly see that each shulker has 2 shells. Why would they not drop a few of those? There's 1. And 2 down. Nice. Okay, we'll just stop by and pick those up. That should give us 12. Yeah, let's go. Okay, sweet. And I'm actually going to bail here. And on the side of this, we can just craft up some shulker boxes. Bada bing. There we go. Very nice. All right, that is looking nice. Grab that. Get on the ghast. And onward we go to hopefully find a unexplored end city with an elytra. Also, just a quick side note, another use for the Happy Ghast, if you're looking to get some of these tops of the chorus fruit and don't want to have to like pillar up to them, you can just grab them like this and then just go down, grab the next one, and then just continue on your way. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Promising. Promising end city. Does it have a ship? There are the stairs. It very well might have a ship. Nope, not that way. Maybe over here? Yes, ship. Let's go. Alright, let's see. Let's see what we got. This looks like it might be unexplored, but I didn't see any bridges to it, so we'll see. We'll see. I do see the shulker on there. Both shulkers on there. That's promising. Very promising. So this very well might be unexplored. Okay, we're just gonna slowly approach. And mistimed it. There we go. Okay, the gas got hit. That's fine. And he's down. Let's go. Alright. Sweet. Should be able to pick up all this stuff here. And this stuff. Maybe. Come on, bro. Alright, we're just gonna get off here then. There we go. Very nice. Gotta get, of course, get the dragon head. Gotta do that. Thank you. I think there is one shulker still left. We're gonna grab this guy as well. I'll put some of this stuff away. There we go. Okay. There we go. And there, my friends, is the Elytra. Let's go. Nailed it. Got diamond horse armor. Take some of this iron gear. We'll take the saddle. You know what? We might as well take all this stuff. Why not? Why not? But there we have it. The Elytra. Let's go. Put that here. Keep that off our bar for now. And I think we're ready to take our first flight. Ready to take our first flight. Always a fun moment. We can go off the end of the ship here and circle back around, perhaps. But Elytra is equipped. Let's do this thing. Ayo. Let's go. And we should probably, like, keep the ghast close. Just because we don't have, like, unbreaking or anything on the Elytra. And the mending on the Elytra either. So this should work out. Let's just take over this city. Get ourselves a bunch of stuff. And yeah, hopefully have a bunch of shulker boxes once we leave here. Where'd he go? Alright, everybody. So we took out this end city, and we ended up with a whole bunch of good stuff. Let me just land up here, and I can show you. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, so check this out. We got a whole bunch of shulker shells. If we open up this bag, 46 shulker shells, a whole bunch of diamond stuff, some diamonds themselves, some iron, some gold, and yeah, a whole bunch of other stuff here. It's like some ender chests and things like that. And some end rods, of course. So, pretty good haul from this. I'm going to gather a few more end rods, and then I think we're going to just fly the Happy Ghast back to the main island if I can't see a end gateway nearby, which hopefully we can. I don't see one in the immediate vicinity, though, but maybe there is one close. But if not, we'll just fly back with the Happy Ghast all the way to the main island. And after about 1,000 blocks of void, it's good to see the end portal and the ender over here in the distance. Very, very nice. It's not quite all loaded in because we're too far away, but yeah, it's getting there. So now that we are actually back in the overworld, I think it's time we go ahead and take an inaugural flight over our entire base and just see what it looks like, the area looks like from above. So we can get up here. You can see there's our little base of operations, and yeah, basically we have this whole large plateau over here that is sort of surrounded on basically every side except for the south side here by some form of water. You see Jevon's ship over here. There's XB Crafted way over here. He's got the looks like a racetrack around his base or something here. And then, yeah, the mountain, of course, over here. Our bridge going across here, and then the rivers we connected up in the last episode over here. So I don't want to fly around too much before we actually put, you know, unbreaking and mending onto our Elytra, but that's sort of a nice overview of our base area. And so for now, we're going to take this off, and we're going to just store these in here. And also, I think I should have my chest, my shirt. There we go. Put that on. Put that in there. And we'll just dump some of the rest of this stuff off in there for now. There we go. And put this away right here. And those are just empty, so we'll put those in there. And in here. Okay, very good. And so the next thing we got to do, the second part of our plan, now that we have shulker boxes, we got to go get some bees. So I've seen some bees around here buzzing about. And I know for sure there's some beehives nearby. Let's see if I can spot some. I saw a bunch of bees over here earlier. And I imagine they were from this tree. Yeah, what do you know? Let's go right here. Okay, so we need to potentially put a campfire here. There we go. And let's see, can we actually see? We know honey level is 5, but how many bees are inside? We can actually harvest this now. And see, 2 out of 3. Okay, so we need that other bee there to go inside this thing, because we want to have the maximum amount of bees for this hive. So let's just find the bee. Alright, so I think I should just be able to skadoosh. Yep, there we go. Alright, so now we should have 3 bees inside here. Yeah, total bee location. Let's go. Alright, 1 beehive secured. I'm sure there's more around here. Seen a couple bees buzzing about. Who the heck left the tree without the base of the tree? That's kind of wild. But I know for sure there's got to be... Yeah, here we go. More bees over here. Perfection. Let's do this. Is this a full beehive? It is a full beehive. I'm going to grab this, and we're going to see how many bees are inside. Is it 3? It is 3. Let's go. Alright, so there's 2 beehives. Okay, so the good news is we found some bee nests. The bad news is we only found 2. So we're going to, put this down and hopefully harvest a little bit more honeycomb, because we, of course, can make some beehives with some wood. So if we come on over here and get some wood like this, bada bing, bada boom, there we go, some beehives. And we're going to put these down, make some bee nests right over here. Bump and bump. There we go. Bop, bop. And we're going to basically breed up some more bees. After breeding up a couple of bees, we got to work with the redstone for these bee farms. Now we're making 2 farms, a honeycomb farm and a honey block farm, because we might as well make both if we're making bee stuff. So we got to work, and let me show you the finished result. Alright everyone, take a look here. We got our bee farm all set up, and yeah, made a little bit of decoration for it as well. So on the right side, this is the honeycomb farm. On the left side, this is the honey block farm. Not honey bottle farm, honey block farm. Like we're farming full blocks of honey. And yeah, the storage is over here for the honey blocks. So honey blocks, honey blocks, honey blocks. And then honeycomb, honeycomb, honeycomb. And we have honeycomb blocks down here. So yeah, the way this works is both farms output to this chest. And then the golem can take, whatever comes into this chest and put it in the appropriate chests on the sides here. Let me show you the redstone behind it and how each one works, because one of these farms is very simple and the other is quite complex. But the good thing is both of them are one wide tileable, so they're very compact in terms of size. So of course this one is the simpler one. You can see it just basically reads out of the beehive or bee nest via comparator. When the signal strength reaches 5, it then fires this dispenser, shearing the beehive or bee nest, which we just heard right there, and then it goes up the elevator to the copper chest. Pretty straightforward. This one, on the other hand, is the honey block farm, which is significantly more complex. This not only reads out of the bee nest and beehive directly, and then basically bud powers the dispenser from above here. It also only uses very minimal glass bottles. This one I think uses like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 glass bottles here. And then, yeah, we just actually had it happen here. This basically just activated, and you'll see that it recycles the glass bottles that it needs to operate. So all these glass bottles were down in the form of honey bottles in this crafter, but they got crafted up into honey. The honey got shot out into the dropper. The honey block went down and got sucked up by the hoppers here, and then shot up into the copper chest, whereas the bottles then went up this dropper elevator up to the very top and are reused. And so, yeah, that's pretty nice. Pretty nice, because you don't need a whole bunch of glass to operate this, and instead it's just, like 6 or 8 glass bottles. So that's pretty fantastic. There is a tutorial on the channel for this one, by the way. I can provide a link in the description to that if you are interested. It does run at max efficiency as well. Like, you can't make any honey block farm that's faster than this ever. So that's pretty nice. And then this guy just sorts everything for us. So pretty nice little system. And in case you're wondering how we get the honeycomb into honeycomb blocks, this lever here, turn that on, easy. So there we go. We got some honeycomb blocks, and yeah, it just comes via a crafter and a little circuit I hid underneath of this little mound of jungle wood here. So now that we got our honeycomb and honey blocks all sorted, and yeah, everything being crafted and sorted appropriately by the golem, and also partially by the redstone behind this system, it's now time that we go ahead and focus on what we really want to do this episode, which is make a proper storage system. So for this storage system, I got a couple of ideas. Number one, I want this storage system to be sort of central to our location on Hermitcraft this season. So that is mostly this whole peninsula up here. This whole area here, I'm basically considering my area. So we want to build it sort of in the center of this. which I think would probably be like around here-ish. Thereabout. This seems like more or less the center of our area. So that would mean it's kind of close to the portal area and where we made the hole in the last episode to get up and down. Like here's the hole and then the bubble column's like up there. So maybe like in this section would be a good spot for a storage system. As far as the storage system itself, we're going to obviously need a lot of wood. So I'm just going to be chopping these trees down for quite some time here. And I want the storage system to do a couple things. Number one, it needs to be able to handle shulker boxes. So we want it to be able to, empty shulker boxes whenever we put a shulker box into the system. We want it to be able to sort effectively every single item in the game, because I don't want to have to make another storage system because, yeah, the first one, obviously, we're already making a second one, so we don't want to have to make a third one. And, yeah, also we want it to be able to handle things like non-stackable items and things, which shouldn't be a problem because I think we're going to use the copper golems for this, which should be quite fun since I've never done that before. So let me get chopping these down. Let me make some chests and get a general idea of how I want this storage system to be laid out. Behold the storage system of the future, ladies and gentlemen. So called because I haven't yet built it. So it is the storage system of the future because we're building it in the future, which is now. So here's the premise. I've laid out these couple hundred double chests worth of things because we need a lot of storage space. This should give us enough storage space, I think, for most of our needs. And I want this chest here, which I might turn into a barrel, to basically control everything. Effectively, I want to be able to throw anything into this chest, whether it be a weapon or stackable items or non-stackable items like tools and weapons and armor, or even shulker boxes. And everything I throw into this chest gets sorted and gets put into a spot where I'll know exactly where it's at a moment's notice. That is the whole premise of this system, and that is what we're going to construct right now. All right, everybody, check it out. We got ourselves a sorter for our pre-sorting before the actual sorting happens with the copper golem around us. So, machine looks like this. This is a design by a guy called Cass from the Bazuma Games channel. And this machine effectively separates all stackables from non-stackables and all shulker boxes from all other items, both stackable and non-stackable. It separates them to 3 separate streams, so then we can do with them as we please. So we're going to test this out right now. I made a shulker box with some stackables and non-stackables. We also got some items that stack to 16 in there, which are going to be with the stackable items. So we're going to put this in here along with like an empty shulker box and some other items here. So let's just dump in, let's say, some repeaters. Let's put in some dispensers, some cobblestone. And let's say we have a shulker box, a non-stackable, some regular items. Like this. I'll just keep the items low so it goes quicker. We'll put a shulker box in here, put another non-stackable, and then some rails at the end. And we'll see if this can accurately sort all the items. So if we put this in here, we should see the stackables coming into this chest. Very good. We should see non-stackables in this chest. Like there's our shovel, for instance. We got the shulker box now being unloaded down here. All the items in this shulker box are now being sent down this hopper, up this elevator, and all the items are being retested up there. The shulker boxes you just heard got broken and sent into that chest over there. And then if we make our way over here, we should see, yeah, the empty shulker boxes in here. And looks like it's done sorting. So we got all of our non-stackables in here, or all of our stackables in here, rather, sorry, and our non-stackables in here. So it works. Let's go. Fantastic. Okay. So, this thing seems to work properly, so fantastic. Again, this is from Cass, from the Bazuma Games channel. I'll provide a link to this in the description if you want to use this in your own worlds, but this is exactly what we want. And now that we have the stackables, non-stackables, and shulker boxes all going into different chests, we can now take these items and move them about as we want to distribute to our actual item sorter up here, which itself will have some like a couple unique niche uses and use cases that we're going to have to account for, which I will talk about. But for now, we got to take these streams of items and bring them up to the surface here. And as you can see here, we now have all of our elevators now constructed and ready to go for our pre-sorter. And we have all the chests in place for our golem sorting system. So the golem sorting system is pretty straightforward. It works like this. So the items come up into this chest. So this is where they'll be initially. Then we'll have some copper golems on a mud block here. And these copper golems will pull from this copper chest. They'll pull the items out. And then they'll begin checking these 9 chests here. So there's 3 double chests here, 3 in the middle, and then 3 on the left side. The reason we're using mud here is because mud is not quite a full block. So it allows the copper golem to access these bottom 3 chests here, there, and there, while also accessing the top chests. And the copper golem checks those chests. If it finds a chest with the item it wants in there, like say there's already copper ingots in there and it finds copper ingots, it just puts the ingots in there. If it doesn't know, it then finally checks this chest, which is going to be always empty, which means that basically the copper golem will put the item in here, and the items will then filter down via hopper to another copper chest, which then will have golems on this mud block, and the process repeats. So the golem takes it out of here, it checks all 9 of these chests via these golems, and then if these golems don't find it, it puts it into the next chest, and then it goes down into this chest, and then the next golems take it out, check all those chests, and around the entire thing it goes. So that's basically the whole system in a nutshell. We also have the circumvention of the entire system by the non-stackables back here. But again, it's going to be copper golem. So if ever we somehow did have a non-stackable make it in, it wouldn't matter because the golems will just keep sending stuff through here. And everything that's not sorted will end up in these 2 chests. So that means that we can put them in slots wherever we feel is necessary. So now it's time to actually put in the copper golems. Now we got 16 copper golems here, which, yeah, we can bring back to life. These are the golems that basically oxidized while they were over there. But I'm thinking we're going to need potentially more copper golems than just 16. We're going to need at least 1 in each slot, and there's 4 on this side, 3 on this side, and 4 on the other side. So the minimum is, I think, what is that? 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 copper golems is the minimum, but I'm thinking we want multiple copper golems in each slot, just because we want it to go kind of fast. We don't want it to be super, super slow, and don't want this chest to get backed up at any point or anything. So I'm thinking we're going to have to do at least probably maybe 5, 10 copper golems in each one. Let's actually put this down a little further. We want to also like drop the copper golems pretty precisely. So we're just going to do this. And we also are going to need to, let's go over this way. We're going to need to get some honeycomb. So we're going to grab some honeycomb from our honeycomb farm here. There we go. Very good. And we'll just teleport back via ender pearl. Hopefully we don't end up in the pit, but we might. Okay, perfect throw. Right, so let's do this thing. So the process is just going to be like this. So we're going to deoxidize, bring them back to life. And then we're going to make sure and wax them. And then we're just going to drop them in. Nice. All right, everybody. So we got our system now all constructed, and you can see all the golems back here. I did go ahead and like manipulate how the golems work. So there's actually more golems in the front now than on the back side, like over here near the end of the sorter. And that's just because I figured that the golems at the start are going to have to deal with a higher input of items than the golems in the back. So the golems in the front are going to be, sorting through every item, whereas the golems over here are only going to have the items that go in these final couple chests, right? So that means we're going to have to basically organize our storage system so that more common items are in the front and least common items or less common items are in the near the back over here. So I say we go ahead and start to organize this. I'm going to organize one chest, and then I'll do a couple of chests, and we can do a little test to see if everything comes through properly. So the first chest I'm going to put down is going to be grass blocks. Grass blocks and dirt variants like podzol and mycelium and rooted dirt, and also coarse dirt, which I don't think I have any of at the moment. Let's just get this chicken out of here because it could cause problems. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. So the way you would do this is you pretty much put in one grass block, you put in a dirt block, you put in a podzol, and you put in a mycelium and a rooted dirt. And if we had coarse dirt, we put coarse dirt in here as well. And then the golems would sort that into the chest. So if I put in, let's say 31 grass blocks, we should see after a very brief amount of time. And of course, we put it into this thing. I just didn't want to wait for the system to put it in. But we should see the grass blocks come in here after they get to the right chest. Takes them a minute. There's 16, 31. Boom. Okay, there we go. So now we're sorting grass blocks into this chest. Great, except that the way I usually do things is, let's say we had a bunch of grass blocks, right? And let's say, we have some inventory space here. Let's just go ahead and we'll throw in some stuff like this. Oh, we have gravel here. Oh, sweet. We can make... Is that actually a coarse... No, that's not regular dirt. We can actually make a coarse dirt here. Bada bing, so we can get some coarse dirt in there as well. Because that would be with these. We'll just put that... That's not the coarse dirt. That's the coarse dirt. There we go. So now we got all the dirt variants. So, yeah, if we had a system like this, and let's say I wanted a bunch of grass blocks, sometimes what I like to do is I like to just do this and pick up all the things. But problem is that also picks up the item, excuse me, that needs to remain inside this chest. So that is not great. But I still want to be able to do that because, especially if you have a bunch of stacks of items, it's very easy to just get stuff out of the chest like that. So in order to combat this problem, we are actually going to name every item, basically in this entire system. We're going to name every item its own individual thing. So we're just going to simply get out a grass block and we're just going to rename it to filler. And then now if we put this in, you'll see if I now have the golem sort some grass blocks, just put in a few here, put in 4 of them. The golems ignore the name of the item, they ignore the filler name of the item, and still put the grass blocks in this chest. So we should see that in just a second here. They have to check, the other couple of chests here. So here he goes, and boom, there it is, puts it in. So we can do that for every single item, and they still sort the same thing. But what this allows us to do is, let's say we have those grass blocks in here, right? Now we can just bada bing, bada boom, and this item, the filler item, still remains in the chest. So very, very useful tip when dealing with copper golems to do that. This always ensures that at least one of your items that you want to be sorting into that chest remains in that chest. So now all we got to do is the exact same thing for the other ones. So the rooted dirt... We're just going to name this filler. There we go. The podzol. Name one of these filler. Let's see. A coarse dirt, which we just got. We'll name this filler. I can't spell apparently. There we go. Filler. And the mycelium. Also filler. Bada bing. Put these in here. There we go, and we're missing, which one are we missing? The rooted dirt, we have coarse dirt, mycelium, the podzol here, and we're pretty much good except for the regular dirt. We need one regular dirt, so we'll name that filler as well, and that is going to be our first chest done. So now the challenge is doing what we just did for this one chest for all the other 100 or so chests here, plus the extra ones down here, which are going to be the non-stackables. So, the next chest I think is probably going to be stone and smooth stone variants. So we're going to have a chest full of that stuff here. Then we'll probably do something like cobblestone, because that's a pretty common item as well, and also pretty fundamental. So yeah, we're going to basically make a couple categories here, and then we'll probably call it for today, because yeah, there's going to be a lot of categories here. Going to take a lot of time to make this. Welcome back, everybody. We got a quarter of our system now done, so here's what it's looking like. So we added a bunch more categories. So for instance, we got like meats down here, raw and cooked meat. We got plant-based foods right in here, including golden carrots and golden apples and bread and apples and things like that. We got passive mob drops, hostile mob drops, so you can see and imagine what those filters are looking like here. Then we got like andesite, diorite, granite. We got deep slate. So deep slate, I'm doing just the silk touch deep slate and the cobble deep slate plus variants. Then I got deep slate blocks in here, and then the rest of the deep slate stairs, slabs, and walls in here. So these have yet to be named, by the way. I just decided to hold off on the naming until we can get everything sorted, and then we can just get a bunch of naming and do a bunch of naming here before starting up this sorter. Then we got like foliage and things in these chests here. We can obviously change these up whenever we want to, so I might do some configuring as we go along. Then we got the woods. So the way I'm doing the woods here, we got 2 woods per slice. So we got oak and spruce in this slice here. So the logs and stripped logs, as well as the wood and stripped wood, are in the lower chest for all these. Then we have the planks, stairs, slabs, and doors, as well as one specialty item. In this case, it's the stick. And then we have fences, fence gates, trapdoors, shelves, pressure plates, buttons, signs, and hanging signs up here. And then since oak is special, it has the ladder as well. And then that's the same for all these. This is birch and jungle. This is acacia and dark oak. This is mangrove and cherry. This is pale oak and bamboo. And then, yeah, you can just see sort of the corresponding things. This one has a scaffolding because you make scaffolding with bamboo. I think this one has, like, armor stand. No, item frame, and this one has armor stand. Yeah, that one has armor stand. So, yeah, just sort of making sure that we have, you know, everything covered. And then this is going to be the nether wood chest here. Although I don't have any warped wood yet. So that's basically as far as I've gotten so far. So, yeah, quite a number of filters placed in. But we do still need to name everything. And we have the whole, you know, rest of the items in the entire game to still go. So I just wanted to mention that. So yeah, we'll be doing that soon. Hopefully by next time you see this, we'll have all that, all the filters configured and we can, you know, run the system. So that should be really cool. Also, I wanted to mention, while I was building this, it took a long time to name these items and things. I actually went ahead and built a little bridge here. Check this out. So we have a beautiful bridge with some cherry blossom leaves that now goes all the way across. We have, this is basically moss, and then the pink petals on the sides, where you have to place these in a specific configuration, since they always place on the right-hand side of the block. You got to place them on the right side as they go down here, and we have little things here, and these, yeah, copper bars are all oxidizing. It's just a nice, like, atmospheric thing to bring you out of and then into our base with the particle effects of the cherry blossom leaves falling down. So just kind of a cool little bridge that I made because I was kind of bored over there because it took a very, very long time to get all the golems in place. Like 2 days to get all the golems in place. And I figured we wanted something more than just the initial one wide bridge, which is now the centerpiece, like the center stripe of the bridge itself here. So that's pretty nice. There's still no support underneath. So we do have some work to do in that regard, but it's better than just having a one wide thing. So anyways, with that, guys, I think I'm going to call it an episode for today. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please do leave a like. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode.